when the sun dips below the horizon and shadows stretch long across the asphalt, America's roads take on a different character. The hum of engines fades beneath an eerie silence, and the night air grows thick with whispers from the past. Along these lonely highways, forgotten tragedies and restless spirits converged between the realms of the living and the dead. These are the haunted roads of America, twisting through dense forests, stretching across desolate plains, and cutting deep into forgotten towns. These routes bear more than just tire marks. They carry tales of horror, mystery, and the supernatural. Tonight, we journey together into the heart of darkness, exploring the 20 most haunted roads in America. From phantom hitchhikers to ghostly apparitions, from tragic accidents to chilling disappearances, these roads will chill you to your core. So buckle up, keep your eyes on the road, but be wary of what might be watching from the shadows. Because once you enter these haunted highways, the past never truly lets you go. Route 666, winding through the deserts and canyons of New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah, has long been known by the chilling moniker, the Devil's Highway. More than just a number, infamous for superstition, this stretch of road has earned its sinister reputation through decades of tragic accidents, strange sightings, and unsettling encounters that have seeped into the fabric of local folklore. The highway cuts across isolated landscapes, arid deserts, where the heat during the day gives way to cold, eerie nights. The emptiness is palpable, and many who travel the road feel an overwhelming sense of unease, as if unseen eyes are watching from the shadows of jagged cliffs and scrubby mesas. It is here, along these lonely miles, that tales of ghostly hitchhikers have emerged, haunting the memories of countless drivers. One of the most persistent legends speaks of a pale woman in vintage clothing, her dress faded and torn, her eyes empty and hollow, who appears suddenly on deserted stretches of the highway. Drivers tell of spotting her standing at the roadside, her figure bathed in an unnatural glow beneath the moonlight. Compelled by a mix of fear and sympathy, many have stopped to offer her a ride, only to experience an encounter that defies explanation. Those who have picked up the phantom hitchhiker recount chilling stories. Some say that once inside the car, the woman remains silent, her gaze fixed ahead with an unsettling stillness. Others mention feeling a sudden drop in temperature, as if an icy breath passed through the vehicle. Many describe glancing back only to find the passenger seat empty, though no doors were opened and no one exited. In some accounts, the apparition is said to pass through the vehicle entirely, as if she is made of smoke or shadow rather than flesh and bone. This spectral woman is not the only ghost said to haunt Route 666. Other travelers speak of a dark, hooded figure who appears on motorcycles racing alongside cars before vanishing into thin air. Known locally as the Black Rider, this shadowy presence is said to be an omen of impending disaster. Witnesses often report an uneasy feeling moments before their car stalls or slips off the road, and some believe the rider leads them to their doom. The highway's dangers are more than supernatural rumors. Over the years, Route 666 has witnessed a disproportionate number of fatal accidents. Its twisting curves, sudden drops, and poorly maintained stretches have claimed lives and fueled the legend that something malevolent lurks within the asphalt and dust. The number itself, 666 only, adds to the road's mystique, conjuring images of the biblical number of the beast. Local Native American tribes tell their own stories of the area, warning travelers of spirits angered by trespassers. Some elders say the highway cuts through sacred land, and the restless souls of those wronged in the past refuse to let the living pass unharmed. Others believe the land itself is cursed, imbued with dark energy that manifests as flickering lights, strange noises, and fleeting shadows. One particularly haunting tale involves a young couple driving late at night on a remote section of Route 666. As their car sputtered and finally died in the middle of nowhere, they spotted a man standing beside the road. He was dressed in old Western clothes, dusty and worn, with eyes that seemed to hold centuries of sorrow. Grateful for help, they invited him into their vehicle. But as soon as he entered, the radio crackled violently. The temperature plunged, and an overwhelming sense of dread filled the car. When the couple finally gathered the courage to look back, the seat was empty, and the man was nowhere to be found. After escaping on foot to a nearby town, they learned of a tragic tale of a stagecoach driver who had died violently on that very stretch decades ago, an echo of the past that still lingers. In other instances, drivers have recounted hearing strange sounds, disembodied whispers that rise on the wind, distant screams that echo through the canyon walls, or the low, mournful wail of a woman who lost her child. Vehicles have stalled inexplicably, only to resume functioning after the presence has passed. Some report seeing mysterious lights that dart through the desert at impossible speeds, vanishing before they can be fully observed. Route 666 has attracted paranormal investigators and thrill seekers for years. Many who have spent the night along its dark stretches claim to have captured unexplained phenomena on camera, shadowy figures lurking just beyond the tree line, orbs of light drifting silently across the road, and sudden cold spots that cause even the bravest to shiver. The energy here, they say, is heavy with pain and unresolved anger, a crossroads between the natural and the supernatural. Despite perhaps because of its fearsome reputation, the road continues to draw those fascinated by the unknown. Some come searching for proof of the paranormal, while others find themselves compelled by stories passed down through generations. The road's eerie beauty, framed by stark desert landscapes and star-studded skies, hides a darkness that few dare to confront. In recent years, authorities have sought to distance themselves from the ominous label. Route 666 was officially renumbered in many places to break the association with the devil's number. But the legends persist, carried on by word of mouth and the chilling tales of those who have experienced the highway's haunted nature firsthand. Ultimately, Route 666 is more than just a highway, is a living legend, a place where history, tragedy, and the supernatural converge. The spirits of the past are said to roam its length, forever bound to the road by sorrow, vengeance, or unfinished business. For those who travel it, the question remains: will they merely pass through, or will they become another ghostly story whispered along the Devil's Highway? Nestled deep within the rural forests of Pennsylvania, through a dark chapter of history and countless chilling tales told by locals and travelers alike. This narrow, winding road cuts through dense woodlands and steep hills, places where the veil between life and death feels impossibly thin, and where the echoes of a violent past refuse to fade into silence. The origin of the road's name traces back to a gruesome massacre during the late 18th century, a time when settlers pushing westward into Native American lands clashed in brutal confrontations. Bloody Hollow was the site of one such violent encounter, where a skirmish between a group of settlers and Native American warriors ended in tragedy and carnage. It is said that the blood spilled on that ground stained the very earth, seeping into the trees, rocks, and waters of the hollow. Since then, stories of hauntings and paranormal activity have clung to the area like a dense fog. Travelers along Bloody Hollow Road have long reported unnerving experiences, especially after nightfall. Many claim to hear sounds that seem impossible to explain: a sudden burst of gunfire echoing through the forest, distant screams filled with terror and pain, and the thunderous gallop of horses charging through the darkness. But when they stop to look or call out, no horses or riders appear. The woods fall silent once again, as if the sounds themselves are only shadows of the past, trapped in an endless loop of violence. Locals often tell the tale of the widow of Bloody Hollow, a spectral woman who roams the roadside at dusk, dressed in tattered clothes stained with blood. Witnesses describe her as pale and mournful, her face marked by grief so profound it seems to radiate from her very being. They say she searches endlessly for her lost family, forever doomed to wander the same stretch of road where tragedy struck. Some drivers have stopped to ask if she needs help, only to have her vanish into the night, leaving behind a cold breeze and the faint scent of smoke. The eerie atmosphere along Bloody Hollow Road is not limited to sounds and ghostly apparitions. Many have reported strange lights flickering between the trees, sometimes resembling lanterns carried by unseen hands. Other times glowing orbs drifting silently through the fog. These lights are said to appear at random, always just beyond reach, illuminating the darkness for mere seconds before disappearing entirely. One chilling encounter was shared by a group of friends who decided to camp near the road one autumn night. As darkness settled, they sat around a fire telling stories when suddenly, distant gunshots echoed from the woods. The sound was so real that the group froze in fear, convinced that someone was firing into the night. Moments later, the horses' hooves thundered nearby, growing louder as if a cavalry was charging through the trees. But despite searching with flashlights and calling out, no one was there. No sign of any rider or settler, only the whispering wind and the crackling fire. Such experiences have drawn paranormal investigators and thrill-seekers to Bloody Hollow Road over the years, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. Many have reported electronic devices malfunctioning or flickering inexplicably while near the site. Cameras occasionally record faint, ghostly figures slipping between the trees, and audio recordings pick up distant voices speaking in languages long lost to time. Some claim to have felt a heavy weight pressed down on their chests, an oppressive presence that lingers long after they leave the area. The history of Bloody Hollow Road is intertwined with the land itself. Nearby streams run cold and clear, yet locals say the waters carry the sorrow of those who died violently nearby. Fishermen sometimes hear cries rising from the depths, and campers have reported waking in the middle of the night to the sound of footsteps crunching on dead leaves just outside their tents. Yet when they peek outside, no one is there, only the impenetrable darkness and the rustling forest. Travelers who pass through Bloody Hollow Road are often struck by a sudden chill, even on the warmest days. This inexplicable cold spot has become one of the road's most famous markers, a silent warning of the restless spirits that linger. Some who have dared to spend the night report nightmares filled with scenes of battle, cries of pain, and the faces of those lost centuries ago, as if the road itself pulls them into its tragic history. Beyond the hauntings, Bloody Hollow Road remains a place of caution. Its winding curves and shadowed stretches have caused numerous accidents over the years, adding to the road's dark reputation. Many locals avoid traveling the road after dusk, preferring safer routes despite the longer distance. For those who do brave the hollow, the stories shared by previous travelers serve as a constant reminder that some roads hold memories best left undisturbed. One particularly haunting story involves a lone driver returning home after a late shift. As he navigated the winding road, he noticed a figure standing by the roadsider, man in period clothing, dirty and bloodied, his eyes sunken with despair. Feeling uneasy, but compelled to help, the driver slowed and rolled down his window, but the man never moved or spoke. When the driver glanced away briefly and then back, the figure had vanished without a trace. Shaken, he sped home, only to learn the next day that a man matching that description had died in a skirmish on that very stretch of road over 200 years ago. The legacy of Bloody Hollow Road is a testament to the power of memory and the enduring presence of the past. It reminds us that some places are marked forever by the tragedies they have witnessed, and that the spirits of those lost may never truly rest. For those who travel through the forests of Pennsylvania, Bloody Hollow Road stands as a chilling reminder that beneath the serene canopy of trees and the quiet hum of nature lies a restless history. The screams and gallops may be echoes of a forgotten battle, but to those who hear them, they are as vivid and terrifying as if the violence were happening now. In the end, Bloody Hollow Road is more than just a passage through the wilderness. It is a crossroads where the living meet the dead, where history bleeds into the present, and where the past refuses to be forgotten. Those who drive its length after dark do so at their own peril. For the hollow holds secrets that are eager to be heard, and spirits that are desperate to be seen. In the quiet woods, near Bennett, North Carolina, lies an unassuming yet unsettling patch of earth known as the Devil's Tramping Ground. At first glance, it appears as just a barren circle about 40 feet in diameter, surrounded by dense forest and the usual underbrush. But this peculiar spot has long been the source of eerie stories and chilling legends that have been passed down through generations. The defining feature of the Devil's Tramping Ground is its strange barrenness. Unlike the fertile earth surrounding it, this circle remains devoid of plant life. Gardeners have tried to cultivate flowers and grass within the boundary, but nothing grows. Seeds are sown, watered, and cared for. Yet morning after morning, the soil remains barren, as if some unseen force prevents life from taking root. This unnatural emptiness has perplexed both scientists and locals alike, adding to the mystique of the site. According to local legend, the Devil's Tramping Ground is exactly what its name suggests, the place where the devil himself walks endlessly in restless circles each night. The story goes that the devil uses this clearing to pace, contemplating his plans, cursed to forever wander in this small patch of earth. The myth paints a picture of a dark, malevolent presence, trapped yet powerful, its energy seeping into the soil and surrounding forest. Many who have visited the site claim to have experienced strange and unexplainable phenomena. It is said that nothing living dares to remain within the circle after dusk. Animals avoid the area entirely, and some say that even insects refuse to crawl across its boundary. Hikers and curious visitors report a feeling of intense unease or dread upon stepping into the circle, as if an invisible force presses down on the chest and drains their energy. One of the most common reports from those who spend time near the Devil's Tramping Ground is the sudden and inexplicable failure of electronic devices. Cameras, cell phones, and flashlights have been known to stop working without warning when brought into or near the circle. This mysterious interference adds a modern twist to the ancient lore, reinforcing the idea that something unnatural resides there. On more than one occasion, visitors have described hearing footsteps circling within the barren patch during the dead of night. Despite the complete absence of any physical being, the sound of pacing footsteps can be heard heavy, deliberate, and continuous. Some say these footsteps echo the restless walking of the devil, condemned to his endless path. Attempts to catch a glimpse of the figure behind the footsteps have always failed. The circle remains empty when approached, as if the sound is a spectral illusion or an auditory hallucination. Local folklore also warns that anyone who dares to camp overnight on the edge of the Devil's Tramping Ground risks encountering dark and dangerous forces. Stories tell of campers awaking to unseen entities circling their tents, objects mysteriously moving, and chilling cold spots appearing without explanation. Some visitors claim to have experienced nightmares so vivid and terrifying that they wake in cold sweat, their minds haunted by visions of dark figures and unholy rituals. One particularly disturbing account comes from a group of friends who decided to spend a night near the circle to test the legend for themselves. As midnight approached, they reported hearing low, guttural growls and whispered voices carried by the wind sounds that seemed to come from all directions at once. Suddenly, one of the friends felt a sharp pain in his leg, as though clawed by an invisible creature. Panicked and disoriented, they fled the site before dawn, leaving behind much of their equipment and refusing to speak much about the experience afterward. Beyond the eerie sounds and failures of technology, the Devil's Tramping Ground has been linked to unexplained animal behavior. Wildlife such as deer and birds act strangely when near the clearing, often fleeing suddenly or displaying signs of distress. Locals say that the forest around the circle feels different, as if the natural rhythms of life are disrupted by the presence of something dark and ancient. Historians and folklorists have tried to trace the origins of the Devil's Tramping Ground legend, but the exact beginnings are lost in the mists of time. Some theories suggest that the barren circle could be the result of an old Native American ritual site or a place where battles were fought. Others speculate that it may have been used by early settlers or witches for dark ceremonies. Regardless of its origin, the site has retained a sense of mystery and fear that transcends centuries. The Devil's Tramping Ground also attracts paranormal investigators, who come equipped with specialized gear to document the strange phenomena. Many report capturing anomalies on their equipment. Unexplained shadows, cold spots, and strange electromagnetic readings. Some believe the site is a portal, or focal point for dark energy, where the boundary between our world and another realm grows thin. Despite, or perhaps because of its fearsome reputation, the Devil's Tramping Ground remains a popular destination for the brave and the curious. It is a place that invites exploration, yet warns caution. The allure of standing where legend says the devil himself walks is a temptation few can resist, even if only for a moment. Visitors who approach the site are advised to respect the land and the stories it holds. Many locals view the clearing with reverence and fear, cautioning that the devil's presence is not to be taken lightly. Some believe that disturbing the ground or attempting to linger too long risks incurring the wrath of the restless spirit said to haunt the circle. The surrounding forest, dense and shadowed, seems to hold its breath when near the clearing. The silence is oppressive, broken only by the crunch of leaves beneath footsteps and the occasional rustle of unseen creatures. It is a place where the natural world and the supernatural converge, where the boundaries of reality feel blurred and fragile. For those who have visited the Devil's Tramping Ground, the experience often leaves a lasting impression. Many describe a profound sense of awe, mixed with dread, as if they have glimpsed something ancient and unknowable. The circle's emptiness becomes a symbol of the unknown darkness lurking just beyond human understanding. In the end, the devil-esque tramping ground stands as a testament to the power of legend and the mystery of places that resist explanation. Whether it is truly a site of the devil's restless pacing or simply a natural anomaly shrouded in myth, its presence continues to captivate and unsettle all who dare to stand within its barren embrace. Those who come seeking answers often leave with more questions, haunted by footsteps they never saw, shadows that fade too quickly, and the persistent feeling that something watches just beyond the trees. The Devil's Tramping Ground is not merely a patch of earth, but a living legend, a dark circle in the woods that invites the brave, warns the cautious, and reminds us all that some mysteries are best left alone. Deep within the dense forests of the Smoky Mountains, Little River Road stretches quietly through winding curves and towering trees. To the casual traveler, it seems like just another scenic route, a peaceful passage through nature's embrace. But beneath its tranquil surface lies a dark legacy so chilling that locals have long whispered the name Murder Road when referring to this stretch. This ominous moniker was earned through a series of grisly murders and mysterious disappearances that haunted the area throughout the early 1900s, and the stories refused to fade, carried on the wind and etched into the very shadows of the forest. The origins of the name trace back over a century ago, when several travelers vanished without a trace along the remote, winding parts of Little River Road. Some were found brutally murdered, while others simply disappeared, leaving behind only unanswered questions and a lingering sense of unease. The road quickly became notorious, and locals avoided traveling it after dark, fearing that whatever darkness took hold here still lingered. As the decades passed, stories of supernatural phenomena began to surface. Those brave enough to drive the road late at night often recount encounters that defy logic and chill the spine. Ghostly figures have been spotted wandering near the roadside, sometimes barely visible shadows, other times fully formed apparitions dressed in period clothing. These spectral beings are said to roam aimlessly, trapped between worlds, their silent footsteps barely audible over the rustling leaves. One of the most frequently reported phenomena along Murder Road is the appearance of a young woman in a flowing white dress. Witnesses describe her as sorrowful, her eyes filled with longing and despair. Some say she is searching for something or someone lost long ago. Drivers who have seen her often feel compelled to stop, only for her to vanish without a sound when approached. Others who try to offer assistance report sudden feelings of overwhelming cold and dread, as if the very air around her chills the soul. Beyond ghostly figures, strange lights are another common sight on Murder Road. Flickering orbs of pale blue or green glow mysteriously among the trees, sometimes darting across the path or hovering just out of reach. Locals believe these lights are spirits or manifestations of the restless dead, guiding or warning travelers depending on the circumstances. Others suggest they might be the souls of those lost in the darkness, unable to find peace. Unexplained sounds add to the road's sinister reputation. Drivers and campers have reported hearing whispers carried by the windwards in languages long forgotten, or desperate cries for help. Footsteps echo in the night, sometimes pacing in circles or following just behind, yet no one is ever seen. The sound of distant gunshots, believed to be remnants of violent encounters from the past, still startles those passing through after dark. On some nights, the forest seems to come alive with unsettling noises, branches snapping, twigs crunching under invisible feet, and the haunting howls of animals disturbed by unseen presences. One harrowing tale comes from a man named Thomas, who regularly drove the road as part of his job delivering supplies to remote cabins in the Smokies. One foggy night, while navigating a particularly narrow bend, he spotted a figure standing at the edge of the road. It was a tall man dressed in early 20th century clothes, his face pale and expressionless. Thomas slowed, heart pounding, and called out, but the figure neither moved nor responded. Suddenly, a cold gust swept through the vehicle, the radio fizzled and died, and the headlights dimmed. When Thomas looked back, the man was gone. Shaken but determined, he continued, only to hear footsteps echo behind the car until he reached the safety of a nearby town. His story, like many others, is one of many that weave the dark tapestry of Murder Road's haunting. Some say that the road's haunted nature is tied to a curse, the result of violent acts and injustices committed on the land. The early settlers, who struggled in the harsh wilderness, clashed with indigenous peoples and amongst themselves, leaving behind bitterness and bloodshed. The restless spirits of those who died violently may be trapped, endlessly reliving their final moments or seeking retribution. Others speculate that the geography itself plays a role. The dense forest, steep hills, and sudden fogs create an environment ripe for eerie illusions and heightened senses. It's easy to see how even the most rational minds can be fooled by shifting shadows, strange lights, and the natural sounds of nocturnal creatures. But those who have spent long nights on Murder Road insist that what they experienced was far beyond natural explanation. Murder Road has also attracted paranormal investigators and thrill seekers, equipped with cameras, thermal sensors, and audio recorders, and faint human-like shapes lurking just beyond the reach of their flashlights. Audio recordings occasionally reveal whispered voices or unexplained noises that vanish when approached. Despite its grim reputation, Murder Road remains a vital passage for those living in and around the Smoky Mountains. Yet the tales and warnings persist, serving as a stark reminder that some roads carry more than just travelers. They carry memories, grudges, and spirits unwilling to rest. One of the most unsettling experiences described by visitors involves the sensation of being watched, even when completely alone. This pervasive feeling of unseen eyes, tracking every movement, makes traversing the road a nerve-wracking experience after nightfall. Some report their vehicles inexplicably stalling or radio static filling the cabin during these moments, as if the road itself resists being crossed in the dark. Local residents often advise outsiders to avoid the road after sunset. They tell stories passed down through generations, warnings about lingering spirits and the restless dead. Some believe that these apparitions protect the land or seek justice, while others view them as malevolent forces capable of causing harm or leading travelers astray. In the end, Murder Road is more than just a stretch of pavement winding through the mountains. It is a place where the past bleeds into the present, where echoes of violence and tragedy resonate through the trees, and where the line between the living and the dead blurs in the mist. For those who dare to travel it under the cover of night, the road offers a glimpse into a dark history and a chilling reminder that some places are marked forever by the pain and fear of what has come before. Whether the ghosts of Murder Road are truly spirits trapped in limbo, or simply tales born of imagination and fear, one thing remains certain: their stories will continue to haunt the Smoky Mountains for generations to come. Blue Hole Road, nestled just outside the small town of Anderson, has long carried a reputation steeped in tragedy and the supernatural. This unassuming stretch of road leads to the Blue Hole, a deep, dark swimming hole carved into the river that winds through the area. Over the decades, the Blue Hole has claimed many lives, its depths swallowing those who ventured too close or found themselves caught in its treacherous currents. As the years passed, stories of ghostly sightings and eerie occurrences began to weave themselves into local folklore, transforming Blue Hole Road into a place where the living feel the presence of the lost. The Blue Hole itself is deceptively beautiful. On warm summer days, it attracts visitors eager to swim in its cool, inviting waters. Surrounded by thick forests, the water's surface often mirrors the sky and the surrounding trees, masking the dangerous depths beneath. But beneath its calm facade lies a dark history. Over the years, numerous drownings and near-drownings have occurred, each adding to the legend that the Blue Hole is cursed or haunted by restless spirits. The most haunting stories come from those who have encountered the unexplained while visiting the Blue Hole or traveling Blue Hole Road at night. Many claim to have seen shadowy figures along the water's edge, figures that vanish when approached. Others speak of hearing faint cries and splashes when the area is silent, as if the lost souls are still struggling beneath the water's surface. Foggy nights seem to bring the most intense activity. On these evenings, when a thick mist settles over the river and the forest, witnesses describe the water rippling unnaturally, as though disturbed by unseen hands. Some say they've seen glowing orbs hovering above the Blue Hole, drifting silently before disappearing into the fog. And the usual sounds of wildlife fall eerily silent. One local legend tells of a young woman named Emily, who drowned in the Blue Hole many years ago. According to the story, Emily was a bright and lively girl who often came to the swimming hole with friends. One summer evening, caught in a sudden current, she was pulled under and never resurfaced. Since that tragic night, visitors have reported seeing her ghostly figure walking along the shoreline, searching for a way back to the world of the living. Some say she appears to swimmers, warning them of the dangers lurking beneath the surface. Others speak of phantom children playing near the water, their laughter echoing through the trees long after they have vanished. These spectral children are said to be the spirits of those who lost their lives in accidents at the Blue Hole, forever trapped between worlds, unable to move on. The road leading to the Blue Hole is no less haunted. Blue Hole Road itself is lined with stories of strange encounters. Drivers report sudden drops in temperature, thick fog that seems to appear out of nowhere, and the feeling of being watched from the shadows. Some have seen figures standing by the roadside, sometimes a lone woman in a white dress, sometimes groups of people, but when the vehicle slows down, the figures disappear into the night. One chilling account comes from a couple who took a late-night drive down Blue Hole Road. As they rounded a bend near the water, they spotted a man standing by the edge of the road, motionless and staring into the darkness. When they stopped to ask if he needed help, he vanished without a trace. Moments later, their car radio began to emit static and strange whispers, as if voices were speaking just beyond comprehension. The couple hurried away, their encounter forever etched in their memories. Many who have visited Blue Hole Road and the swimming hole speak of an overwhelming sense of sadness and loss that lingers in the air. It is as if the spirits of the drowned are reaching out, trapped in the place where their lives ended so abruptly. The water's surface, normally calm and inviting, seems charged with an energy that unsettles even the most skeptical visitors. Paranormal investigators have been drawn to the site, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. Some have recorded unexplained voices and footsteps, while others report sudden drops in temperature and strange electromagnetic readings. Cameras occasionally capture orbs of light or shadowy figures near the water, supporting the tales of haunting that have surrounded the Blue Hole for decades. Despite the warnings and the eerie stories, Blue Hole remains a popular spot during the summer months. Families come to swim, fish, and enjoy the natural beauty of the area. Yet, as the sun sets and the crowds leave, the atmosphere changes. The tranquil water turns dark and still, and the ghosts of the past seem to awaken, reminding all who venture near that the Blue Hole holds secrets beneath its surface. For those who respect the place and its history, Blue Hole Road and the Swimming Hole offer a glimpse into the thin line between life and death. The road and water serve as a chilling reminder that some tragedies leave their mark, not just on memories, but on the land itself. Visitors are often advised to exercise caution, not only because of the physical dangers posed by the deep waters and hidden currents, but also out of respect for the spirits said to linger. Many locals believe that disturbing the Blue Hole or ignoring the warnings risks invoking the wrath of those who died there. In the end, Blue Hole Road is more than just a path leading to a swimming hole. It is a passage into a place where history, tragedy, and the supernatural intertwine. The spirits of the drowned may never find peace, their stories whispered on the wind and reflected in the rippling water. For those who drive down Blue Hole Road on a foggy night or gaze into the depths of the Blue Hole, it is impossible not to feel the weight of the past pressing in, a chilling reminder that some waters hold more than just reflections. They hold memories, echoes, and souls that refuse to let go. Highway 51 stretches deep into the heart of Mississippi, weaving through dense, dark woods and quiet small towns. While it serves as a vital thoroughfare for countless travelers, this long, winding road is also known for its eerie reputation, a place where the past and present seem to blur, and where the veil between the living and the dead grows thin. The highway is infamous not only for numerous accidents but for strange sightings that have been reported for decades. The most enduring being the ghostly figure of a young woman dressed entirely in white. Locals tell stories of drivers who have encountered this mysterious woman, standing by the roadside late at night. She often appears suddenly, her white dress stark against a dark backdrop of trees and shadowy fields. With an outstretched thumb, she tries to hitch a ride, silently beckoning travelers to stop. Many who have seen her describe her as beautiful but ethereal, her face pale and expressionless, her eyes hauntingly vacant. The woman is said to be a bride-to-be who never made it to her wedding day, her tragic fate binding her spirit forever to the highway. The legend says she was traveling along Highway 51 in the hours before her wedding when a sudden accident claimed her life. Since then, her restless spirit has been seen wandering the roadside, eternally waiting for her lost love to find her. For those who stop to give her a ride, the experience is unsettling. The ghostly bride remained silent during the journey, never speaking a word, never revealing her destination. Many drivers report an overwhelming chill inside the car, a heavy atmosphere that settles like a shadow in the back seat. The most unnerving moment comes when drivers try to turn and speak to her or offer reassurance. At that moment, she disappears, vanishing as suddenly as she appeared, leaving no trace behind. Some say the seat where she sat feels cold long after she is gone, and others report faint floral scents lingering in the air, reminiscent of a bridal bouquet. These encounters have been passed down through generations, becoming a part of the local folklore surrounding Highway 51. The tale of the White Bride serves as a chilling reminder of love and loss, of promises cut short and hearts left waiting. Over the years, countless drivers have shared their own stories, some skeptical, some convinced by first-hand experience, that only deepen the mystery of the highway's most famous ghost. But the White Bride is not the only supernatural presence said to haunt Highway 51. Travelers have reported hearing unexplained, sound-soft weeping carried on the wind, the faint rustling of fabric as if a ghostly wedding dress brushes against the car, and distant, sorrowful music that seems to drift out of nowhere. There are stories of shadowy figures seen moving through the trees along the roadside, disappearing when approached. Lights have been spotted flickering in abandoned fields, and cold spots have been felt by those driving through at night. The stretch of road itself has been the site of many tragic accidents over the years, reinforcing the sense that the highway is cursed or haunted. Some locals believe the road carries a dark energy born from the many lives lost there, a spiritual residue that feeds the paranormal activity. This connection between tragedy and hauntings makes Highway 51 a place where history and the supernatural collide. One widely told encounter describes a man driving home late one stormy night. As he rounded a bend, he spotted the White Bride standing alone on the shoulder, her dress fluttering in the wind. Moved by compassion, he stopped and opened his door. She climbed into the passenger seat without a word. As they drove, the man noticed the temperature drop sharply. When he finally looked over to speak to her, she was gone. The seat beside him was empty, and an overwhelming sadness filled the car. The experience haunted him for years, and he never drove that part of Highway 51 at night again. Paranormal investigators have made several trips to Highway 51 to explore its haunted reputation, using cameras, voice recorders, and thermal imaging. They have captured unexplained phenomena, voices faintly calling out, orbs of light floating through the trees, and sudden drops in temperature. Despite these efforts, the highway's supernatural mysteries remain unsolved, fueling further fascination and fear. The legend of the White Bride continues to attract curious visitors and thrill seekers. Many come hoping to catch a glimpse of the ghostly figure or experience the strange occurrences themselves. Some approach with skepticism, while others come prepared with cameras and recording devices. Regardless of their beliefs, most leave with a new appreciation for the road's haunting legacy. Highway 51 is more than just a path through Mississippi's forests and towns. It is a place where love, loss, and the supernatural intertwine. The ghostly bride story reminds us that some spirits never find peace. Caught forever in moments of heartbreak and waiting, the road serves as a silent witness to these tragedies, where the living sometimes glimpse the shadows of the past. For drivers traveling this stretch after dark, the advice is simple. Keep your eyes open and your heart steady. You may just find yourself sharing the road with a bride who never made it to her wedding day, still hoping for the ride that will bring her home. Deep in the quiet countryside of Ohio lies Eerie Hollow Road, a narrow, twisting path that has earned its name through generations of whispered stories and unsettling encounters. Surrounded by dense woods and rolling hills, the road seems innocent enough during daylight hours, but as darkness falls, it becomes a place locals dare not travel alone or, sometimes at all. The name Eerie Hollow perfectly captures the strange and unnerving atmosphere that settles over this stretch of land. When the sun dips below the horizon, those who live nearby tell tales of ghostly figures appearing suddenly between the trees, flickering lights that dance just out of reach, and the feeling of unseen eyes watching from the shadows. It's a place where the boundary between the natural and the supernatural feels blurred, and where visitors often sense that they are not alone. One of the most enduring legends associated with Eerie Hollow Road is that of the phantom carriage. Many who have driven this road at night claim to have seen a horse-drawn carriage racing down the hollow, its wheels pounding against the gravel, the sound echoing through the trees. The eerie part is that no horses or driver are ever visible. The glowing outline of the carriage itself, moving swiftly yet silently as if pulled by some invisible force. Witnesses describe the carriage as old-fashioned, reminiscent of a bygone era. Some say the ghostly vehicle is a remnant of a tragic accident, a spectral reminder of lives lost on this very road. Others believe it to be a curse, eternally trapped in a nighttime race with no finish line. No matter the origin, the sight of the carriage sends chills down the spine of anyone lucky or unlucky enough to witness it. The sounds surrounding Eerie Hollow Road contribute to its reputation as a place of supernatural activity. Many have reported hearing faint laughter carried on the wind, as if a ghostly party is underway just beyond the trees. The music's soft haunting melodies of fiddles and piano drifts through the hollow, drawing listeners deeper into the woods, only to vanish as mysteriously as it appeared. Locals caution that these spectral festivities are not to be disturbed. Those who venture to close risk becoming part of the ghostly gathering themselves, trapped forever in an invisible celebration. Tales abound of people who heard the music and laughter while driving through the hollow, only to lose all sense of time and direction. Some say these visitors returned days later, confused and disoriented, with no memory of what had happened in the intervening hours. Another common experience, reported by drivers on Eerie Hollow Road, is the sudden and inexplicable stalling of their vehicles. Cars often sputter and die in the middle of the road, leaving drivers stranded in the eerie silence of the hollow. Attempts to restart the engines frequently fail, increasing the growing sense of dread. However, As soon as the drivers manage to leave the area, the cars miraculously roar back to life, as if the road itself had refused to allow their passage. These strange occurrences have only fueled the growing legend of Eerie Hollow Road. Some believe the hollow is cursed or haunted by restless spirits unable to move on. Others suggest that it is a thin place where the veil between the living world and the afterlife grows fragile, allowing glimpses into another realm. Historical records offer some clues to the hollow's haunted nature. In the 19th century, the area was home to a small community that suffered through hardships, disease, outbreaks, violent disputes, and mysterious disappearances. Some historians speculate that these tragedies have left an imprint on the land, a spiritual residue that manifests as the strange phenomena experienced today. Paranormal investigators have been drawn to Eerie Hollow Road, hoping to document the unexplained. Many have reported cold spots where temperatures suddenly drop, electronic equipment malfunctioning, and fleeting shadow figures caught on camera. Some claim to have captured audio recordings featuring faint laughter and the sound of wheels rolling over gravel, echoing through the night, long after the investigators have left. Despite the road's frightening reputation, Eerie Hollow continues to attract thrill-seekers and ghost hunters eager to uncover its secrets. For some, the risk is part of the allure, chance to encounter the unknown and test the boundaries between reality and legend. For others, the stories serve as warnings, urging caution and respect for a place that clearly harbors its own dark mysteries. Over time, the legend of Eerie Hollow Road has become woven into the local culture, passed down from generation to generation. Parents warn children to avoid the hollow after dark, and travelers are advised to take alternate routes when the sun sets. The road is not just a physical passage through the countryside, it's a gateway into a world where shadows live, and the past never truly dies. For those who have driven Eerie Hollow Road at night and returned with tales of ghostly carriages, spectral music, and mysterious stalls, the experience leaves a lasting mark. The hollow's chilling presence lingers in their memories, a haunting reminder that some roads are more than just paths from one place to another. They are places where the living brush against the supernatural, where time and space bend, and where the night holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. Eerie Hollow Road remains a place of quiet fear and fascination. It is a stretch of land where history, tragedy, and the unexplained converge, creating an atmosphere thick with mystery. Whether one believes in ghosts or not, the stories from this dark Ohio hollow remind us that some places carry stories that refuse to fade, that the past can echo loudest in the dead of night, and that sometimes the road less traveled leads straight into the unknown. The old San Antonio Road stretches across the heart of Texas, winding through fields, forests, and small towns, carrying with it a heavy burden of history. This ancient trail was once a vital route for settlers, traders, and soldiers, but it is also marked by a violent past filled with battles and bloodshed. The echoes of those turbulent times linger still, and for generations, locals have told tales of ghostly soldiers and strange happenings along the road, especially after night falls. One of the most persistent legends surrounding the old San Antonio Road is the appearance of phantom soldiers marching in formation. Witnesses describe seeing groups of men clad in armor, their footsteps pounding rhythmically on the dirt path, accompanied by the sharp clinking of metal and the occasional neigh of horses. These apparitions often appear suddenly, emerging from the shadows as if reenacting battles fought long ago. Travelers have recounted numerous encounters where the air grows heavy, and an eerie silence falls over the road just before the ghostly procession appears. The spectral soldiers ride alongside passing vehicles or march across the road, disappearing abruptly when noticed. Their faces are often obscured, but the determination and solemnity in their movements suggest they are trapped in an endless loop, bound to the land where they once fought and died. In addition to these ghostly troops, many who traverse the old San Antonio Road at night report seeing mysterious glowing orbs floating above the ground or drifting between the trees. These lights vary in color, sometimes a soft white, other times an unnatural green or blue, and seem to move with purpose, guiding or warning travelers. Some believe these orbs represent the souls of fallen soldiers or restless spirits tied to the road's bloody history. Beyond the spectral sightings, the road is said to carry a curse. Stories abound of those who disrespect the land or ignore local warnings, experiencing strange accidents or mechanical failures. Vehicles inexplicably stall, headlights flicker and die, or tires burst without explanation. These incidents often occur near sites of historical significance along the road, such as old battlefields or abandoned settlements. Locals caution visitors to treat the old San Antonio Road with respect. Many believe that disturbing the soil, removing artifacts, or trespassing on certain areas can provoke the spirits that guard the land. Tales of travelers who dismissed these warnings and later suffered misfortune serve as grim reminders of the road's restless power. One well-known story tells of a group of friends who decided to explore a particularly remote stretch of the old San Antonio Road late one summer night. As they drove, their car's engine suddenly faltered and the headlights dimmed. Stranded and unsure of what to do, they saw faint glowing orbs begin to hover in the distance. Suddenly, a line of ghostly soldiers appeared, marching solemnly along the roadside. The friends watched in awe and fear as the procession passed, their metallic armor shimmering in the pale light before vanishing into the darkness. Moments later, the car's engine roared back to life, allowing them to escape unharmed but forever changed by the encounter. Historians and paranormal researchers have long been drawn to the old San Antonio Road, eager to uncover its secrets and document its hauntings. Some have suggested that the road's geography and history combine to create a kind of spiritual nexus, a place where the veil between the living and the dead grows thin. Electromagnetic anomalies, sudden drops in temperature, and unexplained sounds often accompany reports of ghostly activity. The road's violent past is well documented. It was the site of numerous skirmishes between settlers, Native American tribes, and invading forces. These battles left scars not only on the landscape but on the souls of those who fought and died there. The spirits of fallen soldiers, warriors, and civilians are said to roam the road, replaying their final moments or seeking justice. Some travelers have claimed to hear the distant sounds of battle, the clash of swords, the crack of muskets, and the anguished cries of the wounded fading in and out with the wind. Others describe feeling sudden chills or the sensation of unseen hands brushing past them. These experiences add to the road's eerie reputation and reinforce the belief that the past is never far behind. Despite its haunted reputation, the old San Antonio Road remains a vital artery through Texas, used by commuters, tourists, and locals alike. Yet, even those who travel it regularly cannot deny the stories that surround the road. Many take precautions, especially when driving at night, hoping to avoid the spectral soldiers and the curse said to linger in the shadows. Local folklore also includes warnings about certain landmarks along the road. Old cemeteries, battlefields, and abandoned homesteads are said to be hotspots for paranormal activity. Visitors report seeing shadowy figures standing among the gravestones or hearing footsteps approaching from empty fields. Some have captured strange images, on-camera blurred shapes, glowing lights, or unexplained orbs that defy logical explanation. One particularly chilling tale involves a lone traveler who late at night spotted a figure standing in the middle of the road. As he slowed to avoid hitting the figure, the man lifted his arm, revealing a rusted musket. The traveler's car stalled immediately, and he found himself unable to restart the engine despite numerous attempts. The figure then vanished, leaving the traveler stranded until dawn, when his car suddenly sprang to life. He never returned to that stretch of road again. The stories of the old San Antonio Road serve as a reminder of the powerful connection between place and memory, life and death. They speak to the lasting impact of violence and loss, and the way history can seep into the present, shaping the world in ways unseen. For those who dare to travel this road after dark, the experience can be both thrilling and unsettling. The clinking of armor, the ghostly horses neigh, and the flickering lights are reminders that some places hold on to their past, refusing to let go. Whether these are the echoes of restless souls or the product of imagination and fear, they continue to captivate and haunt all who pass through. In the end, the old San Antonio Road is more than just a route across Texas. It is a corridor through time, where the shadows of history walk alongside the living. Travelers who respect its power and heed its warnings may find themselves touched by the mysterious forces that linger there, while those who do not risk becoming part of the road's enduring legend. Clinton Road in New Jersey is notorious far beyond its modest length, earning a fearsome reputation as one of the most haunted roads in America, stretching just over 10 miles through dense woods and quiet suburban neighborhoods. This seemingly unremarkable stretch of asphalt has become a magnet for thrill seekers, ghost hunters, and those intrigued by the paranormal. Locals and visitors alike share stories that transformed Clinton Road from a simple country road into a corridor of chilling mystery and eerie legends. For decades, drivers venturing down Clinton Road after dark have reported strange and unsettling experiences. One of the most commonly told tales involves ghostly children playing along the roadside. Several witnesses recount seeing small figures darting in and out of the shadows near the edge of the road, often described as laughing or chasing invisible balls. These apparitions are fleeting and ethereal, disappearing the moment a car slows or someone tries to approach them. The sight of these spectral children often leaves onlookers shaken, as their playful presence contrasts eerily with the isolation and darkness of the surrounding forest. Another enduring mystery of Clinton Road is the phenomenon of ghost cars. Drivers have reported seeing headlights far ahead, only for the vehicles to vanish inexplicably when approached. Others describe entire phantom vehicles, older models from decades past, appearing alongside them, driving at the same speed, only to disappear suddenly, leaving no trace behind. Some say these ghost cars reenact tragic accidents from the past, their drivers forever stuck on the road between life and death. The chilling sensation of being followed or overtaken by an unseen presence is a common theme among these stories. Strange sounds permeate the night air along Clinton Road, adding to its ominous atmosphere. Echoing footsteps crunch on the gravel shoulders, though no one is ever visible. Whispering voices seem to drift from the dense trees, and some claim to hear distant screams or cries for help. The wind itself carries an eerie quality, seeming to shift and howl with unnatural cadence, intensifying the feeling that the forest holds secrets far darker than it lets on. Among the many legends that cloak Clinton Road, perhaps the most famous is the story of the Ghost Boy. According to local lore, a young boy was tragically killed in a car accident along this road decades ago. Since then, his apparition has been reported repeatedly, usually appearing as a small figure wearing a light-colored shirt and jeans, attempting to hitch a ride from passing motorists. Drivers who stop to pick him up often describe the boy sitting silently in the back seat, never uttering a word. When they look back to speak or offer assistance, he vanishes without a trace, leaving behind only a cold chill and an overwhelming sense of sorrow. Some say the boy is doomed to remain on Clinton Road, searching for a way home or help he never received in life. Others believe his spirit is tied to the trauma of the accident, replaying the moment again and again. Whatever the truth, the tale of the Ghost Boy has become a cautionary story for those who travel the road after nightfall, blending fear with a tragic sadness that lingers long after the encounter. But the Ghost Boy is not the only spectral figure said to haunt Clinton Road. Several witnesses have described seeing shadowy figures standing at the side of the road, their features obscured and movements jerky or unnatural. Some speak of a mysterious black dog with glowing eyes, prowling the woods near the road, its presence accompanied by a sense of dread and forewarning. The legend of the black dog is common in various cultures as an omen of death or misfortune, and Clinton Road's version adds another layer of eerie folklore to the area. Clinton Road is also known for peculiar phenomena involving roadside attractions. One such spot is the infamous Devil's Tower, a crumbling stone pillar said to be the site of occult rituals and strange happenings. Visitors to the tower report feeling sudden drops in temperature, hearing chanting or drumming from unseen groups, and experiencing overwhelming sensations of fear or nausea. The area around the tower is littered with makeshift shrines, candles, and symbols, suggesting that the site continues to attract those seeking connection with the supernatural. Another popular destination is the Ghost Boy Bridge, where the boy's apparition is said to appear most frequently. This narrow bridge, surrounded by thick trees and fog on most nights, has been the site of numerous reported hauntings, including strange lights under the bridge's structure and shadowy figures glimpsed by passing drivers. The bridge's eerie reputation has made it a focal point for ghost stories, urban legends, and local lore. Paranormal investigators flock to Clinton Road, hoping to capture evidence of its many mysteries. Cameras, EVP recorders, and other devices have picked up unexplained voices, cold spots, and fleeting shadows. Some claim to have captured glowing orbs on film or recorded the sound of children laughing where no children were present. Despite the advances in technology, the road's supernatural secrets remain stubbornly elusive, keeping its stories alive and ever-evolving. Locals maintain a wary respect for Clinton Road, often avoiding it at night or traveling it only with companions. The road's reputation as a hotspot for strange occurrences has been cemented by generations of first-hand experiences and retold tales. Warnings to newcomers advise caution and suggest that some places are best left undisturbed, as the restless spirits along Clinton Road do not easily forget those who trespass on their domain. The haunting atmosphere of Clinton Road is intensified by its physical environment. Thick forests rise up on either side, their trees gnarled and twisted, casting long, shifting shadows under the moonlight. The road itself is narrow and winding, with sudden bends and blind spots that make driving at night challenging. Dense fog often settles in, muffling sounds and obscuring vision, as if the road is cloaked in a supernatural veil. Driving down Clinton Road becomes a test of nerve, with each shadow and sound stirring the imagination. The mix of tragic history, unexplained phenomena, and dark legends creates a perfect storm for fear and fascination. For those brave enough, for foolish enough to explore it after dark, the road offers a chilling journey into the unknown. In the end, Clinton Road stands as a haunting reminder of how history and tragedy can leave an indelible mark on a place. The ghostly children, the phantom cars, the spectral hitchhiker, all these stories weave together to create an enduring mythos, one that captures the imagination and unsettles the soul. Whether you believe the tales or dismiss them as mere legend, the stories of Clinton Road continue to draw attention, inviting visitors to walk or drive the line between the natural and the supernatural. And if you find yourself behind the wheel on that dark, winding road, be sure to keep your eyes open. You never know what might be waiting just beyond the headlights' reach, whether it's a playful ghost child, a vanished carriage, or the sorrowful spirit of the ghost boy, still searching for a ride home. Red Mountain Road in Alabama is a stretch of asphalt steeped in history and haunted by stories as dark as the reddish soil beneath its surface, flanked by dense forests where sunlight barely touches the ground. Its eerie name comes not just from the natural color of the earth, but from the bloodshed that once stained this land. Battles fought between Native American tribes defending their homeland and settlers pushing westward, desperate to claim new territory. The violent history of this place is said to have cursed the land itself, leaving a legacy of restless spirits and unexplained phenomena that continue to haunt the road to this day. Locals tell that the reddish hue of the soil is more than just dirt. It is the remnant of countless lives lost in brutal conflict. The ground is said to soak up the pain and rage of those who fell here, holding their anguish and fury in a way that no natural soil could. This lingering energy manifests itself in eerie and unsettling ways, especially after night falls. Travelers brave enough to drive down Red Mountain Road after dark often report a series of chilling encounters. The most common are the blood-curdling screams that pierce the still night air. These screams vary from desperate cries of agony to haunting wails that seem to echo endlessly through the trees. They have no clear source and vanish as suddenly as they appear, leaving drivers gripped by a deep, inexplicable fear. Shadow figures are also frequently seen darting across the road or lurking just beyond the edge of the forest. These shapes move too quickly and silently to be fully identified, but their presence is undeniable. Many describe them as humanoid silhouettes, sometimes flickering in and out of sight like fleeting phantoms. Some witnesses swear that these shadows watch silently from the woods, their forms twisting and writhing in ways that defy natural movement. Perhaps the most unsettling phenomena reported along Red Mountain Road are the faces in the trees. Visitors have told of glimpsing twisted, contorted faces staring from within the bark and branches. These faces seem frozen in silent pain or anger, their eyes following passersby, as if warning them to turn back. The haunting visage of these faces appears and disappears with the shifting shadows, often so brief that drivers question whether they saw them at all until the feeling of being watched lingers long after. One chilling account comes from a young woman named Lisa, who drove Red Mountain Road late one evening on her way home from a friend's house. As she navigated the winding path, she heard sudden, blood-curdling screams echoing through the trees, causing her to slam on the brakes in terror. Heart pounding, she glanced into the woods and thought she saw shadowy figures moving swiftly among the trees. Then, as if summoned by her gaze, several faces appeared etched into the bark of gnarled trees, twisted in silent screams and hollow eyes. Frozen by fear, Lisa did not dare look again until she was far from the road. She described the experience as something out of a nightmare, forever changing the way she viewed Red Mountain Road. The history behind these hauntings is woven deeply into the fabric of the region. During the 18th and 19th centuries, the area around Red Mountain Road was a battleground. Native American tribes fought fiercely to defend their ancestral lands from encroaching settlers. These clashes were brutal and bloody, with both sides suffering devastating losses. The violent confrontations left scars on the land, and many believe the spirits of the fallen warriors and settlers remain trapped here, caught between worlds and doomed to relive their final moments. Some locals suggest that the curse on Red Mountain Road is not limited to ghostly sightings and sounds, but extends to those who disrespect the land. There are stories of travelers who ventured off the road, disturbing the soil or removing artifacts, only to face misfortune or strange accidents shortly after. The land itself is said to be protective, and those who ignore the warnings may find themselves the target of unseen forces. Paranormal investigators have taken an interest in Red Mountain Road. They have reported unusual electromagnetic readings, unexplained cold spots, and recordings of distant screams and whispers that can't be attributed to any living person. Some claim to have caught fleeting images of shadow figures on camera, or recorded voices pleading or warning. These findings lend credence to the stories passed down by generations of residents and visitors. Despite the fear and warnings, Red Mountain Road continues to attract curious explorers and thrill seekers, drawn by the promise of encountering the supernatural. Many arrive with cameras, audio equipment, and a willingness to confront the unknown, hoping to capture evidence or experience the haunting firsthand. Some leave with chilling stories of their own, forever changed by what they witnessed in the dark woods along this cursed path. At its core, the legend of Red Mountain Road is a powerful reminder of how history and violence can leave a lasting imprint on a place. The spirits that linger are echoes of a tragic past, and the land itself seems to hold their memories, telling tales of sorrow, rage, and unrest. The screams, shadow figures, and haunted faces are not just ghost stories. They are manifestations of a history that refuses to be forgotten. For those who travel Red Mountain Road today, the experience can be deeply unsettling. The road's dark forests and winding turns create an atmosphere where every shadow might hide a spirit, and every rustle in the trees might be a ghostly presence watching silently. The sense of being observed, of crossing into a realm where the dead still walk, is almost palpable. Some drivers choose to avoid the road after sunset entirely, heeding the warnings passed down through generations. Others see it as a test of courage, a place to confront fear and experience the unknown. Whatever the reason for the journey, one thing is clear: Red Mountain Road is not a place where the past stays buried. The reddish soil that gives the road its name is more than just earth. It is a silent witness to the violence and suffering that once tore through this land. Its blood-stained history has woven a curse that still reaches into the present, creating an environment thick with restless spirits and lingering sorrow. Ultimately, Red Mountain Road stands as a chilling testament to the power of history and memory. It is a place where the dead speak through screams in the night, where shadows hold secrets, and where faces of pain watch silently from the trees. Those who dare to travel its length must do so with respect and caution. For the road is not just haunted, it is alive with the echoes of a violent past that refuses to rest. Mac Road, a quiet rural highway in Arkansas, stretches through dense woods and open fields, appearing at first glance as just another forgotten country route. Yet beneath its calm exterior lies a chilling reputation, one steeped in mystery and paranormal phenomena. For years, locals and travelers have whispered tales of unexplained occurrences, strange sounds, and ghostly apparitions, making Mac Road a place where the boundary between this world and the next seems fragile, almost transparent. One of the most common experiences reported by drivers on Mac Road is the sudden and inexplicable failure of their vehicles. Cars stall for no apparent mechanical reason, engines die, and radios cut out just as the road dips into the more shadowed stretches of forest. These breakdowns can be terrifying, leaving drivers stranded in near-complete darkness, surrounded by trees that seem to close in with an unnatural silence. More often than not, the vehicles start working again only after the driver has managed to leave the haunted stretch of road behind. Accompanying these mechanical failures are eerie sounds that haunt Mac Road at night. Many travelers speak of faint crying carried on the wind, soft, sorrowful sobs that seem to come from nowhere and everywhere all at once. The cries are said to echo through the trees, fading in and out like a tragic lullaby whispered by unseen lips. Alongside the crying, some hear hushed whispers, indistinct voices sharing secrets or warnings. Too faint to fully understand, but impossible to ignore. These disembodied sounds intensify the feeling that Mac Road is alive with restless spirits, their presence palpable to anyone passing through after dark. One of the most enduring legends surrounding Mac Road is the apparition of an old man who appears wandering the roadside. Described as a solitary figure dressed in worn clothing, sometimes carrying a lantern or walking stick, this ghostly guardian has been seen by numerous witnesses over the years. What makes the sightings particularly unsettling is the old man's elusive nature. He appears suddenly, often standing silently, just beyond the headlights, watching as vehicles pass. When approached or looked at directly, he vanishes into the shadows, leaving behind an eerie stillness and the lingering sense that he is guarding something or someone, a protector of the land who continues his watch even after death. Others suggest a darker story, that the old man is a restless soul bound to the road by tragedy, perhaps seeking redemption or warning travelers of impending danger. Despite the differences in interpretation, the sightings share a common thread. The old man's presence is both haunting and strangely comforting, as if he exists to keep watch over those who might become lost or harmed along this lonely stretch. Adding to the mystery of Mac Road are reports of strange lights, pale orbs that float silently through the trees or flicker at the roadside. These lights are often seen near the spots where car troubles occur or where the crying and whispers are most intense. Witnesses have tried to follow these lights, only to have them vanish without warning, as if teasing those who seek to understand their origin. Some paranormal enthusiasts believe these lights represent trapped souls or spiritual guides, illuminating the darkness in a world where the living and the dead intersect. The history of Mac Road adds depth to its haunting reputation. The area around the road was once home to small farming communities and rural homesteads. Over the years, tragedy struck this quiet landscape, fatal accidents, disappearances, and untimely deaths that seem to have left echoes in the land. Some locals recall tales of a family who lived along the road, devastated by loss and hardship, whose spirits might still wander the fields. Others speak of an old, abandoned house near the road, said to be the epicenter of much of the paranormal activity. Whatever the origin, the stories weave a tapestry of sorrow and mystery that continues to envelop Mac Road. Many who have experienced the strange phenomena of Mac Road come away with a mix of fear and fascination. Some describe the feelings as a heavy presence pressing on their chest, a cold chill that creeps over the skin, or a sense of being watched by unseen eyes. Others talk about moments when time seems to slow or distort, as if the road exists partly outside of normal reality. These sensations reinforce the belief that Mac Road is a place where the natural laws bend, where spirits linger close and the living must tread carefully. Paranormal investigators have visited Mac Road multiple times, drawn by the reports of mechanical failures, ghostly voices, and mysterious apparitions. Using a range of equipment, thermal cameras, EVP recorders, and electromagnetic sensors, they have captured unusual readings and unexplained phenomena. Some have recorded faint voices pleading for help or uttering cryptic warnings, while others have spotted shadow figures moving just beyond the edge of their camera's lenses. Despite these findings, the true nature of Mac Road's hauntings remains elusive, leaving room for speculation and further exploration. Despite the eerie tales, Mac Road remains a route used daily by locals and travelers alike. Many drive it without incident during daylight, but as night falls, a palpable tension seems to settle over the road. Drivers, who know the legends, take care to avoid stopping unnecessarily and keep their speed steady, wary of becoming another victim of the road's strange power. The legend of Mac Road continues to grow, fueled by new stories from those who dare to venture down this haunted stretch. Whether it is the mournful cries carried by the wind, the flickering orbs guiding lost travelers, or the watchful old man silently guarding the roadside, the paranormal activity here serves as a stark reminder that some places hold on to their secrets tightly, and sometimes the past refuses to rest. For those who find themselves driving down Mac Road after dark, it is wise to be cautious and respectful. The road is not just a passage through Arkansas countryside. It is a liminal space where worlds brush against one another, where sorrow and mystery walk hand in hand, and where the unseen watch silently from the shadows. Nestled deep in the woods of Maryland, the bridge known locally as the Upper Bridge spans the quiet Piscataway Creek, a modest structure that has become one of the most feared and storied locations in the region. While it might appear on maps as just another rural crossing, the Upper Bridge is anything but ordinary. Over the years, it has gained a terrifying reputation, largely due to the legend of the Goatman, a half-man, half-goat creature said to haunt the area. This mythical being has become synonymous with the bridge, and the chilling stories associated with it have drawn thrill-seekers, paranormal enthusiasts, and the wary alike. The legend of the Goatman is as old as the surrounding forests, with roots in local folklore that blend native mythology, early settler tales, and modern urban legends. Described as a grotesque figure with the upper body of a muscular man and the lower half resembling a goat, complete with hooves and fur. The Goatman is said to lurk near the bridge and along the banks of Piscataway Creek. His eyes glow fiercely in the darkness, and his growls echo through the trees, sending shivers down the spines of anyone who ventures too close after sunset. Visitors who stop near the Upper Bridge after dark often report a variety of unsettling experiences. One of the most commonly shared phenomena is the sound of strange growls, deep, guttural noises that seem neither human nor animal. These growls often come without warning, reverberating through the woods and leaving those nearby frozen in fear. The source of the sounds is never visible, only heard, adding to the bridge's aura of mystery and danger. In addition to the growls, many have heard eerie footsteps echoing along the planks of the bridge or crunching through the surrounding underbrush. These footsteps sometimes approach a vehicle or group of people, only to vanish when searched for. The sense of an unseen presence stalking visitors is a recurring theme among those who have dared to explore the area at night. Perhaps the most terrifying accounts involve the sudden and unexplained appearance of the Goatman himself. Witnesses describe catching glimpses of a towering, hulking figure standing at the edge of the creek or just beyond the tree line. Its features are said to be twisted and monstrous horns curling from its head, eyes blazing with unnatural light, and a snarling mouth filled with sharp teeth. Some claim the creature has lunged or charged at them, only to disappear into the shadows before any harm is done. The terror of seeing such a beast, combined with the impossibility of its existence, has cemented the Goat Man as a central figure in local folklore. Stories of strange damage to vehicles following visits to the upper bridge have only fueled the legend further. Drivers report unexplained dents, scratches, and even broken windows after parking near the bridge or driving slowly across it at night. Some believe these damages are caused by the Goat Man himself, acting out of vengeful rage against trespassers who disturb his domain. Others think the creature uses its powerful hooves or claws to strike vehicles, a warning to keep away from the cursed spot. One particularly chilling account comes from a group of teenagers who decided to test the legend on a dare. They stopped their car near the bridge just after midnight, laughing nervously as they recalled the stories. Suddenly, they heard the unmistakable sound of heavy footsteps around their vehicle, followed by guttural growls that made their blood run cold. One of the teens swore she saw a massive figure looming just beyond the headlights. In a panic, they sped away, only to find their car riddled with scratches and a shattered rear window when they reached safety. This incident, like many others, has been retold countless times, becoming a cautionary tale for those tempted to visit the upper bridge after dark. The origins of the Goat Man legend vary, with some claiming it began in the 1930s when a scientist at a nearby research facility supposedly conducted genetic experiments, creating a half-man, half-goat creature that escaped into the woods. Others trace the myth back to ancient folklore, suggesting the creature is a forest guardian or cursed spirit, punishing those who disrespect the land. Despite the differing stories, the Goat Man remains a symbol of primal fear, part human, part beast, a creature out of nightmare that embodies the unknown horrors lurking in the wilderness. Local residents often warn outsiders not to visit the bridge at night. They speak of the place with hushed voices, recounting personal or second-hand experiences that have left lasting impressions of fear and unease. Some have even reported strange lights flickering near the bridge or sudden drops in temperature, signs often associated with supernatural activity. Paranormal investigators have also been drawn to the upper bridge, hoping to capture evidence of the Goat Man or the haunting phenomena that surround it. Using night vision cameras, audio recorders, and motion sensors, they have documented unexplained noises, orbs of light, and shadowy figures. Yet, despite numerous attempts, no definitive proof of the Goat Man's existence has ever been produced, keeping the legend alive and tantalizingly unresolved. The upper bridge's reputation has created a magnet for thrill-seekers and curiosity hunters, some of whom seek to challenge their fears or capture proof of the supernatural. Others come with cameras and recording devices, hoping to document the strange sounds and lights that have become synonymous with the area. For many, the bridge is more than just a crossing over water. It's a gateway into a world where myth and reality intertwine, where the primal fear of the unknown comes alive. The haunting stories surrounding the upper bridge serve as a reminder of how legends are born and evolve, rooted in fear, imagination, and a deep human fascination with what lies beyond understanding. Whether the Goat Man is a creature of flesh and blood, a spirit trapped between worlds, or simply a tale grown from the fertile soil of local folklore, its presence continues to cast a shadow over Piscataway Creek. For those who dare to visit the upper bridge at night, the experience can be both thrilling and terrifying. The sounds of growls and footsteps, the flicker of ghostly lights, and the glimpse of a monstrous figure all contribute to an atmosphere thick with dread and mystery. Visitors are advised to approach with caution, respect the surrounding wilderness, and heed the warnings passed down through generations. Graveyard Road in Kentucky is a winding stretch of highway that lives up to its ominous name, meandering through rolling hills and dense woodlands. This road passes by numerous old cemeteries and forgotten burial grounds, some dating back centuries. The area's rich history of early settlers, war veterans, and long past tragedies seems to have left an indelible mark on the land, creating a place where many believe the spirits of the dead remain restless and ever-present. Travelers who journey along Graveyard Road often speak of strange and unsettling experiences, especially after dusk. One of the most frequently reported phenomena is the appearance of ghostly lights flickering among the trees lining the road. These lights, often described as small orbs or flickers of pale blue and white, seem to dance and move with no discernible source. Many say these lights resemble will-o'-the-wisps, mysterious lights that, in folklore, are said to mislead travelers into dangerous places. On Graveyard Road, however, the lights don't just confuse, they provoke a deep sense of unease, as if signaling the presence of the supernatural. Along with the eerie lights, drivers have reported sudden cold spots inside their vehicles while passing through certain areas of the road. These unexplained chills can send shivers down the spine, causing even the most skeptical to question what is happening around them. Some describe the temperature dropping sharply for no reason, sometimes accompanied by a feeling of being watched or an overwhelming sense of dread. These cold spots often coincide with the most haunted sections of Graveyard Road, particularly near some of the older cemeteries. Perhaps the most chilling encounters are those involving the sightings of ghostly figures along the roadside. Numerous witnesses have claimed to see people dressed in old-fashioned clothes, long coats, bonnets, and dresses from bygone eras walking solemnly by the edge of the road. These figures often appear as if caught between worlds, their expressions mournful or lost, and their movements slow and deliberate. When approached, these apparitions vanish suddenly, leaving no trace except the lingering impression of sadness and unfinished business. One account comes from a man named James, who frequently drove Graveyard Road on his way home from work. On one particularly foggy night, he spotted a woman in a long white dress standing near an old cemetery gate. Curious and concerned, James slowed down to offer assistance, but as he got closer, the woman vanished into thin air. Startled, he continued driving, but couldn't shake the feeling that he had just witnessed something beyond explanation. This experience stayed with him, making every trip down Graveyard Road a nerve-wracking journey. The history of Graveyard Road is deeply intertwined with the stories of those buried nearby. Many of the cemeteries hold the graves of early settlers who faced hardship and loss during the settlement of Kentucky's rugged landscape. Some graves belong to soldiers who fought and died in the Civil War, adding a layer of historical sorrow to the area. The weight of this history is palpable, and locals often speak of the land as hallowed ground where the dead have not fully moved on. Folklore suggests that the spirits haunting Graveyard Road are not malevolent, but trapped souls bound by unfinished business, grief, or the violent upheaval that marked their lives. Some believe that these spirits attempt to communicate through the flickering lights and sudden chills, reaching out to the living for recognition or closure. Others think the ghostly figures are reenacting moments from the past, forever walking the road as they once did in life. The phenomenon of the ghostly lights has inspired numerous investigations by paranormal enthusiasts. Using cameras, EVP recorders, and thermal imaging, investigators have captured strange orbs of light and recorded faint voices that seem to call out or whisper names. Despite efforts to explain these occurrences scientifically, many remain convinced that Graveyard Road is a hotspot for supernatural activity, in addition to spectral sightings and eerie lights. Some travelers report hearing unexplained sounds, distant footsteps on gravel, the rustle of skirts in the wind, or soft singing carried on the night air. These auditory experiences often coincide with visual sightings, reinforcing the belief that the road is a thin boundary between the living world and the spirit realm. Locals are divided in their reactions to Graveyard Road's haunted reputation. Some avoid the road entirely after dark, unwilling to risk encounters with restless spirits. Others see it as a rite of passage, a place to test courage or explore the unknown. Annual ghost tours and local legends keep the stories alive, drawing visitors intrigued by the promise of supernatural encounters and a glimpse into the past. Despite the fear and fascination, The road is a reminder of the region's deep history and the enduring impact of those who came before. The spirits said to haunt Graveyard Road are echoes of lives lived, struggles endured, and stories that refuse to fade. Their presence is a testament to the power of memory and the thin line that separates the living from the dead. For those who find themselves driving Graveyard Road late at night, it is wise to remain respectful and cautious. Whether or not you believe in ghosts, the road carries an atmosphere thick with history, sorrow, and mystery. Keep your eyes open for flickering lights and shadowy figures, and be prepared for sudden chills that may suggest you are not alone. Some say that on certain nights, the veil between worlds is thinner here than anywhere else, offering a haunting glimpse into a realm beyond our understanding. In the end, Graveyard Road is more than just a route through Kentucky's countryside. It's a corridor through time and spirit, where the past lingers and whispers to those who listen. The flickering lights, the cold spots, and the ghostly figures all remind us that some places hold the memories of the dead, waiting patiently to be seen and remembered by the living. Slaughterhouse Road in Illinois is a narrow, winding path that cuts through dense forests and stretches past the remnants of an old, abandoned slaughterhouse. The road's grim name stems from a horrifying event in the early 1900s, a brutal murder that stained the area with blood and sorrow. Over the decades, this tragic history has morphed into chilling local legends, with stories of restless spirits and supernatural phenomena, keeping Slaughterhouse Road one of the most feared and mysterious places in the region. The story begins with the slaughterhouse itself, a grim industrial site that once operated on the edge of a small rural community. It was a place of hard labor. The facility was the scene of a gruesome crime. A worker was murdered in a fit of rage, or so the rumors say. The exact details were never fully uncovered, but the tale told by locals is one of betrayal, violence, and a body left hidden near the slaughterhouse grounds. This violent event seemed to unleash a lingering darkness on the area, one that has never truly lifted. Today, Slaughterhouse Road is shrouded in a sinister reputation. Visitors and locals alike warn against traveling it after dark, as many have reported experiencing inexplicable phenomena. One of the most common and unsettling complaints is the sudden sound of screams, agonizing wails that echo through the trees and pierce the night. These screams often seem to come from nowhere, fading as suddenly as they appear, leaving those who hear them shaken and searching for their source. Adding to the eerie soundscape are pounding noises, heavy thuds that seem to bounce between the trees or vibrate through the ground itself. These sounds resemble footsteps or blows striking an unseen object, sometimes steady and rhythmic, other times chaotic and frantic. Some say it sounds like someone trapped, desperately trying to escape, while others believe it is a spectral reenactment of the murder itself, replaying endlessly in the ether. Perhaps the most unnerving aspect of Slaughterhouse Road are the shadowy figures reported by those brave enough to walk or drive the area after dusk. Witnesses describe vague, shifting shapes that dart quickly between the trees or linger at the edge of their vision. These figures are often described as dark silhouettes, sometimes with glowing eyes, disappearing whenever someone tries to get a closer look. Many believe these are the spirits of the murder victims, forever trapped in the place where their lives were violently cut short. There are numerous reports of vehicles malfunctioning mysteriously along Slaughterhouse Road. Cars stall for no mechanical reason. Engines sputter and die, and radios cut out unexpectedly. Drivers often find themselves stranded in the pitch-black woods with no cell signal and no clear way out. In some cases, vehicles have even been reported to roll backward or lurch forward on their own, as if influenced by an unseen force. These unsettling occurrences have only added to the road's fearful mystique. One of the more frightening tales comes from a young couple who drove down Slaughterhouse Road on a one chilly autumn evening. As they neared the old slaughterhouse ruins, their car suddenly stalled. In the silence that followed, the couple heard a blood-curdling scream from the woods nearby. Panicked, they looked into their rearview mirrors and were horrified to see several pale, ghostly faces staring back at them from the darkened trees. Frozen with terror, The couple finally managed to restart the car and sped away, vowing never to return. Their story spread quickly, reinforcing the road's reputation as a place to avoid after dark. The chilling tales of Slaughterhouse Road have attracted paranormal investigators eager to uncover proof of the supernatural. Using night vision cameras, audio equipment, and electromagnetic sensors, they have recorded strange orbs of light and captured faint voices on their devices. Some have reported sudden drops in temperature, cold spots that seem to follow them as they move through the area. Though no definitive evidence of ghosts has been produced, the accumulation of unexplained phenomena continues to draw curious visitors and skeptics alike. Locals tend to avoid the road at night, many believing the spirits of the murder victims remain restless and angry. Some say the land itself has absorbed the violence, creating a cursed environment where evil lingers. Others believe the ghosts seek justice or closure. Their cries and appearances, attempts to communicate or warn. Annual vigils and ceremonies have been held by those wishing to honor the dead and perhaps calm the unsettled spirits. Despite the fear, Slaughterhouse Road also serves as a reminder of the power of history and memory. The old slaughterhouse ruins stand as a silent testament to the past, while the stories passed down through generations keep the tragic event alive in the community's consciousness. The road's haunted reputation is not just a tale of ghosts, but a reflection of the pain and trauma etched into the land. For those who choose to travel Slaughterhouse Road after dark, caution and respect are paramount. The chilling screams, pounding sounds, and shadowy figures serve as warnings of a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the eerie atmosphere and tragic history make this stretch of road one of the most haunted and unsettling locations in Illinois. Ultimately, Slaughterhouse Road is a place where past violence and present fears collide, a corridor haunted by memories that refuse to fade. The restless spirits, if they exist, remind us that some tragedies leave marks beyond the physical, haunting the places and the people connected to them for generations to come. Seven Gates Road in New Jersey is a narrow, winding stretch of asphalt surrounded by dense forests and thick underbrush, steeped in dark and unsettling folklore. Over the years, this secluded road has become infamous, not just for its remote location, but for the chilling legends that swirl around it. Tales of satanic rituals, ghostly apparitions, and mysterious disappearances have built a reputation that keeps many locals and travelers wary and, in some cases, downright afraid to venture near. For those who dare to explore Seven Gates Road after dark, the experience can be one of intense fear and unexplained phenomena. The name Seven Gates itself adds to the road's aura of mystery. Locals tell stories of seven symbolic gates along the road. Some say they are actual gates that appear and disappear at night, while others believe they are metaphysical barriers marking the threshold between the natural and supernatural worlds. It is said that passing through the seventh gate brings with it a curse, or supernatural consequences that no one truly understands, but few want to risk facing. One of the most pervasive feelings reported by those who have driven or walked the road at night is an overwhelming sense of dread. Visitors describe it as a crushing weight, a dark presence that seems to press down on the soul and twist the mind. This palpable atmosphere of fear often causes travelers to feel disoriented, anxious, and eager to leave as quickly as possible. Some say the air grows thick and heavy, making it difficult to breathe, while others speak of a sudden drop in temperature that chills them to the bone. Ghostly figures are another common occurrence on Seven Gates Road. Witnesses often recount seeing shadowy shapes suddenly appear near the roadside, only to vanish moments later. These apparitions take on various forms, sometimes humanoid silhouettes, sometimes grotesque, unnatural shapes that seem to flicker like static on an old television screen. Some have reported seeing cloaked figures standing silently beneath the trees, watching in silence, their eyes glowing faintly in the dark. These eerie visions inspire terror and confusion, as those who see them often question whether what they witnessed was real or a trick of the mind. Adding to the road's sinister reputation are reports of strange symbols appearing mysteriously on cars, homes, and even on the bodies of those who have visited the area. These symbols vary but often resemble occult or satanic markings, cryptic signs scrawled in what looks like blood, scratches etched into paint, or patterns burned into clothing. Some visitors have woken to find these marks on their skin, as if drawn by an unseen hand. The origin and meaning of these symbols remain unknown, but they are widely believed to be warnings or worse, curses left by malevolent forces tied to the road. Several stories tell of those who disappeared while exploring Seven Gates Road, never to be seen again. The disappearances add a layer of real danger to the already chilling legend. Some say people have been pulled into the woods by unseen entities or trapped in an alternate dimension, accessible only by crossing the seventh gate. Others believe that dark rituals performed on the road have claimed victims, binding their souls to the area for eternity. These vanishings are rarely investigated thoroughly, and many locals prefer to speak of them only in hushed tones, afraid of attracting more attention to the cursed location. The origins of the satanic ritual stories vary, but they are an essential part of Seven Gates Road's lore. It is said that cults have long used the secluded area for dark ceremonies practices involving animal sacrifices, chants, and summoning rituals designed to open gateways to otherworldly forces. Some believe the seven gates themselves are tied to these rituals, acting as spiritual seals or portals that grant access to demonic realms. These rituals are said to leave lingering energy, contributing to the oppressive atmosphere and paranormal activity reported by visitors. Locals offer warnings to outsiders, advising them to avoid Seven Gates Road after dark. Many believe that crossing the seventh gate, whether physical or spiritual invites misfortune, madness, or possession. The stories warn that once you pass this threshold, you become marked by the road and its dark power. Some report nightmares, strange illnesses, or unexplained misfortunes after their encounters. Others say they felt as though they were being followed, even when far from the area. Paranormal investigators have been drawn to Seven Gates Road repeatedly, hoping to uncover proof of its dark secrets. Equipped with night vision cameras, EVP recorders, and thermal imaging devices, they have documented strange lights darting through the trees, captured low-frequency sounds resembling whispers or chants, and recorded sudden cold spots that defy natural explanation. Some investigators have reported feeling watched or physically touched by unseen forces. Despite these efforts, definitive evidence remains elusive, and the road's mysteries only deepen. For thrill seekers and those fascinated by the paranormal, Seven Gates Road offers a dark allure. Stories of the supernatural and the unknown call to those eager to confront fear and explore hidden realms. Yet, many who visit find themselves overwhelmed by the oppressive energy, often cutting their explorations short. The road's reputation as a place of darkness and danger serves as both a challenge and a warning to anyone curious enough to approach. In the end, Seven Gates Road stands as a chilling reminder of the power of folklore and the human fascination with the supernatural. It is a place where history, myth, and fear converge, creating a space thick with mystery and dread. Whether the legends of satanic rituals, ghostly figures, and curses are true, or simply the product of overactive imaginations, the road holds an undeniable grip on those who hear its stories. Those who find themselves near Seven Gates Road are wise to heed local advice and proceed with caution. The haunting atmosphere, strange symbols, and eerie sightings all suggest that this is no ordinary stretch of highway. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the stories warn of forces beyond understanding that lurk just beyond the trees, waiting for the unwary to cross their path. Seven Gates Road is more than a physical place. It is a gateway into fear itself, a journey into shadows where the living brush up against the unknown. For those who cross its path, the experience can be haunting and unforgettable, a dark chapter etched into their memories forever. Shades of Death Road, located in the heart of Warren County, New Jersey, is a place where darkness seems to linger, not just in name, but in the very atmosphere that envelopes it. Known as one of the most ominously named roads in America, Shades of Death Road carries a chilling legacy steeped in mystery, tragedy, and the unexplained. Its twisted path meanders through dense woods and murky swamps, creating a landscape that seems frozen in time, cloaked in shadows and whispered tales of horror. The origins of the road's eerie name remain a subject of debate among locals and historians. Some attribute it to a string of violent murders dating back to the 18th and 19th centuries, when the area was a frontier marked by lawlessness and conflict. Unexplained deaths that have plagued the area over centuries. Whatever the true origin, the name Shades of Death evokes a sense of dread and foreboding that hangs heavy over the road and those who dare to travel it. As the road cuts through thick forests and soggy wetlands, travelers often find themselves enveloped in a silence that is both profound and unsettling. The natural sounds of the woods bird calls, rustling leaves, the distant croak of frogs fade into an eerie stillness after dusk. This quiet is often broken by disturbing noises that seem out of place, sudden cries, the whisper of footsteps on the road, or the snap of a twig in the underbrush. Many who have driven or walked the road at night speak of hearing disembodied screams echoing through the trizagonized, desperate sounds that appear to come from nowhere and disappear just as quickly. Visitors to Shades of Death Road have reported seeing ghostly apparitions that defy explanation. Some describe shadowy figures emerging from the woods, moving slowly across the road before vanishing into the darkness. Others speak of fleeting glimpses of pale faces staring from behind tree trunks, eyes hollow and sorrowful. These apparitions are often described as humanoid but distorted, like spirits caught between worlds, unable to find rest. One recurring image is that of a woman in white, wandering the roadside as if searching for something or someone lost to time. Beyond these ghostly sightings, many have encountered what are commonly referred to as shadow people. These dark, humanoid silhouettes appear briefly in peripheral vision, often vanishing when directly looked at. Travelers report a sudden drop in temperature when these shadows manifest, accompanied by an overwhelming feeling of dread or being watched. Some who have experienced these encounters describe an oppressive energy, a sensation of something malevolent lurking just beyond perception. The geography of Shades of Death Road adds to its sinister reputation. The road twists and turns through thick woods that block out sunlight even during the day, making the surroundings feel claustrophobic and foreboding. Marshy swamps line parts of the route, their stagnant waters rumored to conceal more than just mud and decaying plant matter. Folklore suggests that these wetlands are home to restless spirits or otherworldly entities drawn to the gloom and isolation. Local legends deepen the mystery of Shades of Death Road. One story tells of a Native American massacre that took place near the area, leaving many souls trapped and angry. Another speaks of a mass grave hidden somewhere along the road, the victims of a deadly epidemic or violent crime buried in unmarked graves. Some say the land itself is cursed, the residual energy from past horrors, imprinting itself on the earth and twisting the natural world into a place of darkness and fear. Residents nearby recount their own chilling experiences. Some have reported seeing strange lights flickering deep in the woods, like lanterns held by unseen figures. Others tell of sudden, unexplained power outages in homes near the road, as if the darkness extends its reach beyond the forest. These occurrences, while anecdotal, contribute to the area's reputation as a hotspot for paranormal activity, despite or perhaps because of its fearsome reputation. Shades of Death Road attracts a steady stream of thrill-seekers, paranormal investigators, and curious travelers. Those drawn to the road often come hoping to catch a glimpse of the supernatural or to feel the palpable tension that many describe as unique to this place. Paranormal enthusiasts have conducted investigations using night vision cameras, EVP recorders, and other equipment, capturing unexplained noises, shadowy movements, and sudden temperature fluctuations. Though hard evidence remains elusive, these findings reinforce the road's eerie reputation. The psychological effect of traveling Shades of Death Road cannot be underestimated. The isolation, the dense woods, the twisting turns, and the chilling stories all combine to create a setting ripe for fear and imagination to take hold. Many visitors report feeling a change in mood or awareness as they approach or traverse the road, a sense of unease, heightened alertness, or even panic. Some suggest that the road itself exerts a subtle influence, feeding on the fears of those who pass through. Over time, Shades of Death Road has become more than just a physical location. It is a symbol of mystery and darkness, a touchstone for stories of the unexplained. It reminds us of the thin veil between the natural and supernatural, and how places marked by tragedy can become portals to the unknown. The road's winding path through shadowed woods and swamps is a journey into the heart of fear itself, where history's darkest moments continue to haunt the present. Whether these stories are rooted in reality or fueled by folklore and imagination, Shades of Death Road leaves a lasting impression on those who encounter it. It challenges the brave and the curious to confront the unknown and to respect the power of place, especially places where the shadows hold secrets and the echoes of the past refuse to fade. For anyone who dares to travel Shades of Death Road after sunset, the experience is unforgettable. The whispers in the wind, the flickers of ghostly light, and the sense of unseen eyes watching from the darkness create an atmosphere unlike any other. The road invites you to listen closely to the cries, to the shadows, and to the silence that speaks louder than words. In the end, Shades of Death Road stands as a chilling testament to the power of history, memory, and fear. It is a reminder that some roads are more than mere paths through the woods. They are corridors where the living and the dead cross paths, where darkness lingers long after the sun has set, and where the name itself is a warning etched into the land. Black Dog Trail in Montana winds through rugged forests and open plains, a pathway that has inspired awe, respect, and fear for generations. Hidden deep in the wilderness, the trail is more than just a route through the landscape. It is a setting of one of Montana's most enduring legends. The haunting presence of the Black Dog. Stories of this supernatural creature have been whispered around campfires and passed down through families, painting the Black Dog Trail as a place where the veil between the natural and the supernatural grows thin. The black dog itself is described as a large, shadowy beast, larger than any ordinary canine. With glowing red eyes that pierce the darkness, it moves with silent grace, often appearing suddenly on the trail or just beyond the tree line. Those who have encountered the creature speak of an overwhelming chill in the air, a sudden drop in temperature that freezes breath and stiffens limbs. Along with the cold comes a profound feeling of fear, one that grips the heart and mind with a primal terror beyond explanation. Many who travel the Black Dog Trail tell similar accounts that blend the supernatural with deep-rooted instincts for survival. One of the most common reports is that the black dog appears as a warning, a spectral guardian signaling impending danger. Some say the beast has saved them from fatal accidents, natural disasters, or attacks by wild animals. These encounters, though terrifying, are seen by some as blessings, warnings to turn back or to tread carefully ahead. Others, however, view the black dog as a malevolent spirit, a harbinger of doom and misfortune. In this darker interpretation, the creature is said to follow those who cross its path, bringing curses, illness, or unexplained misfortunes. Witnesses who have felt the dog's gaze upon them report experiencing a string of bad luck, accidents, or a lingering sense of being hunted long after the encounter. This dual nature of the black dog as both protector and predator adds to the mystique and fear surrounding the trail. The origins of the black dog legend are steeped in folklore that stretches back centuries, blending indigenous myths, settler tales, and the harsh realities of life in Montana's wilderness. Native American tribes in the region have long told stories of spirit animals, guardians, and omens that watch over the land and its people. Some suggest that the black dog is a manifestation of one such spirit, a powerful force embodying both the protective and vengeful aspects of nature. Settlers and pioneers who ventured into Montana's wilds brought their own superstitions and stories, often recounting encounters with strange animals and ghostly apparitions. The black dog legend grew out of these shared experiences, evolving over time into a figure that captures the fear and respect of the unknown. The trail itself, winding through isolated forests and open grasslands, became the perfect setting for these stories, a place where the natural world and the supernatural seem to intersect. Travelers who venture onto Black Dog Trail today often do so with a mix of curiosity and caution. Some come seeking the thrill of encountering the legendary beast, armed with cameras and recording devices, hoping to capture proof of the supernatural. Paranormal investigators have visited the area multiple times, reporting unexplained sounds, sudden cold spots, and fleeting shadows caught on night vision cameras. Though definitive evidence remains elusive, these investigations only deepen the trail's enigmatic reputation. Others come to the trail simply to experience its natural beauty, unaware or dismissive of its haunted legacy. For these travelers, the stories add an undercurrent of unease, a feeling that the peaceful forest may hide secrets lurking just beyond sight. Even without seeing the black dog, many report a palpable change in atmosphere, a heavy stillness, an oppressive silence that seems to hold its breath. One memorable encounter comes from a hiker named Claire, who was trekking alone along the trail at dusk. As she paused to rest near a bend in the path, she felt a sudden chill and a presence nearby. Turning, she saw a massive black shape slip between the trees, eyes glowing bright red in the fading light. Frozen with fear, Claire remained still until the creature disappeared into the shadows. Though terrified, she later reflected that she felt somehow spared, as if the black dog had chosen to let her live. This story, like many others, highlights the mysterious and unpredictable nature of the legend. The dual identity of the black dog as both guardian and threat mirrors the wilderness itself. Montana's landscape is stunning yet unforgiving, beautiful yet deadly. The legend reflects this balance, reminding those who traverse the trail that they are visitors in a wild and ancient world, one governed by forces beyond human understanding. Throughout history, the black dog has become a symbol of Montana's deep connection to nature and the supernatural. Its story warns of respect for the land, its dangers, and the unseen spirits that may watch over it. It embodies the fear of the unknown and the hope that even in darkness, there may be protectors guiding the way. For those who find themselves walking or driving along Black Dog Trail, the experience can be unforgettable. Whether you encounter the legendary beast or simply feel its shadow lurking in the night, the trail offers a glimpse into a world where myth and reality blur. It is a place of mystery, fear, and awe, reminder that some roads lead not only through the wilderness, but also into the realms of the unknown. In the end, Black Dog Trail is more than just a path through Montana's rugged landscape. It is a corridor of legends, a crossroads between the natural and supernatural, and a haunting reminder that some creatures exist not just in the stories we tell, but in the spaces between shadows and light. The black dog continues to roam, silent and watchful, a spectral guardian or ominous omen depending on who sees it. And what fate awaits those who cross its path? Tunnel of Trees, a winding road snaking through the dense forests of Michigan, is a place where nature's beauty meets eerie mystery. Known for its breathtaking canopy formed by towering trees that arch overhead, the road creates a tunnel-like effect, especially striking during the day. But as darkness falls, this enchanting scene turns into something far more unsettling. Locals and travelers alike have shared stories of strange figures darting between the trees and ghostly lights flickering among the branches, turning the Tunnel of Trees into one of Michigan's most haunted and mysterious stretches of road. By day, the Tunnel of Trees is celebrated for its scenic splendor. The canopy of interlocking branches filters sunlight, casting dappled shadows on the winding asphalt below. It's a favored route for tourists and nature lovers, eager to experience the serene beauty of northern Michigan's forests and Lake Michigan shoreline. But beneath this natural charm lies a darker story, woven through generations of local folklore and tragic history. One of the most persistent legends involves a woman whose life ended tragically near the road. The tale varies in detail, but centers on a young woman who decades ago died under mysterious or heartbreaking circumstances close to the Tunnel of Trees. Some say she was involved in a fatal accident, others that she was fleeing from a terrible fate. Regardless of the specifics, Her spirit is said to remain forever tied to the place, a restless presence lingering among the shadows of the trees. Travelers at night report a chilling encounter with this ghostly figure. Many describe seeing a woman appearing suddenly in the beams of their headlights, standing silently by the roadside or in the middle of the road itself. She is often described as wearing a long dress or coat, her face pale and expressionless. The sighting is brief, no more than a few seconds, but enough to freeze the blood of even the most seasoned driver. When drivers slow down or stop to look, the woman disappears without a trace, as if she was never really there. Along with the ghostly woman, numerous witnesses speak of strange figures darting through the forest, flanking the road. These shapes are often fleeting and shadow-like, moving quickly among the trees before vanishing. Some have compared them to spirits or lost souls, trapped between worlds and drawn to the tunnel of trees by the weight of past tragedies. Others suggest the figures could be something less human, dark shapes glimpsed just at the edge of vision, never fully revealed. Adding to the haunting atmosphere are reports of ghostly lights flickering high above among the branches. These orbs of light are seen drifting silently, sometimes following vehicles or hovering near the roadside. They vary in color, from pale blue to warm white, and their movement seems deliberate, as if they are watching or guiding. Many who have witnessed these lights say they felt a profound mix of awe and fear, a sensation that something unseen was present and aware. The dense forest and winding nature of the road amplify the sense of isolation and vulnerability. The tunnel of trees feels like a place where time slows, and the boundary between the living world and the supernatural grows thin. The silence of the forest at night is broken only by the rustling of leaves or the occasional call of nocturnal animals. Yet travelers report feeling watched, as though unseen eyes peer from the shadows. Local residents share stories handed down through generations, warning visitors about the road's dark side. They recount tales of those who encountered the ghostly woman and strange figures, but were too frightened to speak of it afterward. Some say the woman's spirit appears as a warning, a messenger trying to communicate a hidden truth or prevent further tragedy. Others believe she is a lost soul, unable to move on due to the pain of her untimely death. The origin of the ghostly woman legend is as mysterious as the figure herself. Some historians suggest her story could be tied to a long-forgotten accident, while others think it might stem from local folklore about women who suffered hardship or betrayal. Whatever the truth, her presence remains a constant thread in the fabric of the tunnel of trees, haunting tales. In addition to ghostly sightings, travelers have reported other strange occurrences. Some claim their car radios crackle with static or play eerie, unintelligible voices while driving through the tunnel at night. Others have experienced inexplicable car trouble, stalled engines, flickering headlights, or sudden drops in power only to have everything return to normal. Once they leave the road as shadowy confines, these unexplained phenomena contribute to the road's reputation as a place where the natural and supernatural intersect. Paranormal investigators have visited the tunnel of trees, hoping to capture evidence of the hauntings. Using infrared cameras, EVP recorders, and motion sensors, they have documented unexplained lights, cold spots, and faint whispers on audio recordings. While the evidence remains inconclusive, these findings have reinforced local beliefs that the road is a hotspot for paranormal activity. Despite the eerie stories, the tunnel of trees remains a popular destination. Visitors come for its stunning vistas and peaceful atmosphere, but many also come hoping to glimpse the supernatural or experience the legends firsthand. This combination of beauty and mystery adds to the road's allure, attracting those who seek both tranquility and the thrill of the unknown. For those who find themselves traveling the tunnel of trees after dark, caution and respect are advised. The forest can be disorienting, and the legends suggest that the spirits who linger here are sensitive to the presence of the living. Whether these are protective forces or restless souls is a matter of perspective, but it is clear that the road holds a power beyond the ordinary. In the end, the tunnel of trees stands as a place where nature's majesty and human tragedy meet. Its canopy of ancient trees shelters stories both beautiful and sorrowful, where ghostly figures and flickering lights remind us that some places are touched by forces beyond our understanding. The road invites us to reflect on the mysteries of life, death, and the shadows that linger in between. As travelers drive beneath the intertwining branches, they are reminded that the tunnel of trees is not just a road through Michigan, as wilderness it is a passage through history, legend, and the unknown. The stories of the woman who died tragically and the ghostly figures that haunt the night serve as a lasting testament to the power of place and memory. In the stillness beneath the trees, the past lives on, waiting to be seen and remembered. The Devil's Backbone is a rugged, winding road that snakes through the Texas Hill Country. This stretch of road carries a history steeped in violence, tragedy, and legend, earning its ominous name from generations of tales passed down by locals and travelers alike. The very land seems to hold the echoes of the past decades that manifest as ghostly figures, chilling cries carried by the wind, and unexplained phenomena that send shivers down the spine of anyone who dares to venture along this haunted route. The name Devil's Backbone conjures images of something both menacing and untamed, and the road itself is no exception. Historically, this area was a crossroads for settlers, outlaws, and Native American tribes, all vying for control and survival in the harsh Texas frontier. The road follows a narrow ridge, elevated and exposed, which earned the name for its jagged, spine-like appearance. But it is the dark history tied to this land, the bloodshed, ambushes, and deaths, that has cemented its reputation as a place where restless spirits roam. In the 19th century, the Devil's Backbone was a favored route for travelers and traders moving through the hill country. However, it was also a favored hunting ground for bandits and outlaws who preyed on those journeying through the remote and unforgiving terrain. Many violent confrontations took place, here on bushes that left bodies abandoned in the brush, and scars on the land that seemed never to heal. Settlers who attempted to establish homesteads along the ridge faced hardships beyond nature as cruelty, conflicts with hostile forces, disease, and isolation. Today, travelers along the Devil's Backbone report experiencing strange and unsettling phenomena that seem to bridge past and present. One of the most commonly reported sightings is that of ghostly figures, apparitions of outlaws and settlers who are said to haunt the ridgeline and the surrounding woods. These specters often appear as shadowy silhouettes, sometimes flickering like flames or standing solid against the backdrop of the night. Witnesses describe seeing men dressed in period clothing, hats, and guns at their sides, lingering near the road or pacing silently along the ridge. Some of these figures have been seen watching silently from the tree line, their faces obscured by shadow, but their presence unmistakable. Accompanying these spectral sightings are eerie sounds that send chills through those who hear them. Travelers speak of distant cries, mournful wails, and even gunshots carried on the wind, as though the battles and tragedies of centuries ago are replaying in a ghostly echo. These sounds often seem to come from nowhere and vanish just as suddenly, leaving an unsettling silence in their wake. The cries are said to carry the sorrow and rage of those who died violently, souls trapped in a cycle of unrest. Another common phenomenon reported along the Devil's Backbone is sudden drops in temperature. Visitors have described walking along the road on warm summer nights, only to feel icy cold enveloping them as they pass certain points. This chilling cold often coincides with other paranormal experiences, a shadow crossing the road, a sudden silence in the surrounding wildlife, or an overwhelming feeling of being watched. Many interpret these cold spots as manifestations of spiritual energy, a sign that the veil between the living and the dead is thin in this haunted region. In addition to ghostly figures and cold spots, some travelers report seeing strange shadows darting across the road at night, shapes too fast and dark to be animals, but too large and distinct to be mere tricks of light. These shadows are often described as fleeting, disappearing before anyone can get a clear look. Some locals believe these are the restless spirits of the dead, forever wandering the Devil's Backbone, while others whisper of something darker, shadowy entities born of the land's violent history. The local communities around the Devil's Backbone share these stories with a mixture of fear and respect. While some dismiss the legends as folklore designed to scare outsiders, many take the tales seriously, especially those who have experienced strange events firsthand. Older residents often recount stories heard from their grandparents, describing encounters with phantom riders or ghostly settlers that have been passed down through generations. One well-known tale involves a settler family who lived near the road in the late 1800s. According to the story, the family was attacked by outlaws during the night, leading to a bloody confrontation that ended in tragedy. Since then, travelers have reported seeing the ghost of a woman in a long dress standing near the roadside, watching silently as if waiting for her family to return. Some say she appears just before a violent storm, her presence a warning to those who travel the road. Paranormal investigators have taken an interest in the Devil's Backbone, conducting nighttime explorations equipped with cameras, audio recorders, and temperature sensors. Their findings include unexplained flashes of light, sudden temperature drops, and faint voices captured on electronic voice phenomenon (EVP) devices. While scientific proof remains elusive, these investigations have only fueled the road's haunted reputation and attracted curious thrill-seekers eager to experience the supernatural firsthand. Despite its eerie reputation, the Devil's Backbone remains a vital and scenic route through the Texas Hill Country. The rugged beauty of the landscape draws hikers, nature lovers, and photographers by day. But as night falls, the road's dark history and haunting legends take center stage, transforming it into a corridor where the past lingers in shadows and whispers. For those who choose to travel the Devil's Backbone after dark, caution and respect are paramount. The haunting stories and unexplained phenomena suggest that this is a place where the past is never truly gone, where spirits of outlaws and settlers alike remain bound to the land by sorrow and violence. The cries on the wind, the ghostly figures, and the chilling drops in temperature serve as reminders that some roads carry more than just travelers. They carry the memories and spirits of those who came before. In the end, the Devil's Backbone is more than just a road through the Texas Hill Country. It is a bridge between history and the supernatural, a place where nature's rugged beauty conceals shadows of tragedy and haunting. The restless spirits and eerie phenomena challenge our understanding of the boundary between life and death, reminding us that some places hold on to their secrets and their sorrows long after the living have moved on. Those who venture along the Devil's Backbone carry with them the weight of these stories, a mix of awe and fear. Whether the ghostly figures and chilling cries are real or imagined, the road's legacy is undeniable. It is a testament to the power of history, memory, and the unknown. Reminder that, beneath the surface of even the most beautiful landscapes, shadows can linger, waiting to be seen and heard. The Coronado Trail in Arizona is a road steeped in history, mystery, and legends that echo through the canyons and deserts it traverses. Originally carved out by Spanish explorers in the 16th century, the trail has long been a pathway not only through the rugged landscape, but also between worlds. Today, it is infamous not only for its winding, scenic route through the high desert, but also for the many eerie stories tied to its past stories of Native American spirits, ghostly travelers, and strange sounds that drift through the night air. This ancient trail follows the path once taken by Francisco de Coronado, the Spanish conquistador who led an expedition across the Southwest in search of the mythical 7 Cities of Gold. While Coronado's journey was filled with hardship and conflict, the land itself holds even older stories. Native American tribes, primarily the Apache and Navajo, have long called this region home, and their spirits are said to still roam the canyons, mesas, and valleys that the trail cuts through. Travelers driving the Coronado Trail after dark often report a chilling sense of being watched, a feeling that they have crossed into a space where the past and present collide. Many have heard distant drumming and chanting echoing across the hills, sounds that seem to come from nowhere, yet fill the night with an ancient rhythm. These haunting melodies are said to be the voices of Native American spirits performing sacred rituals, their echoes lingering as a reminder of a time before the arrival of explorers and settlers. Some visitors claim that the drumming is accompanied by the faint smell of sage and burning cedar, scents traditionally used in Native American ceremonies. The sounds rise and fall with the wind, sometimes seeming close enough to touch, only to vanish moments later. Many who hear the drums report a mix of fear and reverence, sensing the presence of something powerful and otherworldly. In addition to the mysterious sounds, numerous sightings of ghostly figures along the trail have been reported. Perhaps the most common apparition is that of spectral riders, ghostly horsemen, who appear suddenly on the road or just beyond the tree line. These riders are often described as cloaked in shadow or dressed in period clothing from the era of Spanish exploration or Native American warriors. Witnesses speak of horses with glowing eyes or phantom hooves that make no sound as they gallop past. These ghostly riders sometimes seem to race alongside vehicles, appearing briefly in headlights before vanishing without a trace. Some say the riders are spirits of those who died along the trail centuries ago, doomed to wander the land eternally. Others believe they are guardians, protecting sacred ground or warning travelers to respect the history and spirit of the land. Adding to the legend are reports of ghostly campfires seen flickering in the distance. Travelers have stopped along the trail to investigate, only to find no sign of any actual fire or campsite. These phantom fires are often surrounded by an eerie stillness, and those who approach report a sudden drop in temperature and a feeling of profound loneliness, as if stepping into a place out of time. It is said that these ghostly fires represent the eternal campsites of Native American spirits or lost explorers. Their flames a symbol of the past's undying presence. The Coronado Trail is also known for strange lights that appear in the sky or along the roadside. Some describe these lights as orbs that float silently through the air, while others speak of flickering lanterns or glowing figures that disappear upon approach. These phenomena have been interpreted as manifestations of spirits or as natural but unexplained atmospheric effects that add to the trail's eerie reputation. Locals in nearby communities share these stories with a blend of pride and caution. They respect the trail's rich cultural heritage and the spiritual significance it holds for Native American peoples. Many warn travelers to be respectful and mindful when journeying along the Coronado Trail, especially at night. Ignoring the sacredness of the land, they say, risks angering the spirits or inviting misfortune. The history of the trail is marked by conflict and tragedy as well. Coronado's expedition clashed violently with Native American tribes, resulting in bloodshed and suffering on both sides. This history of violence and loss is believed to have left spiritual scars, a lingering unrest among the spirits of those who perished. The stories of ghostly warriors and travelers may be echoes of these past conflicts, replaying across time in spectral form. Paranormal investigators have explored the Coronado Trail, seeking to capture evidence of its hauntings. Equipped with night vision cameras, audio recorders, and thermal imaging devices, they have documented unexplained sounds, sudden temperature shifts, and shadowy figures on video. Though concrete proof remains elusive, these investigations have only deepened the mystique surrounding the trail and fueled interest in its legends. For modern travelers, the Coronado Trail offers both breathtaking natural beauty and a palpable connection to history and the supernatural. By day, it winds through striking landscapes of rocky cliffs, deep canyons, and expansive desert vistas. But by night, it transforms into a place where the past seems to walk alongside the present, where the voices of ancient peoples can still be heard in the wind, and where ghostly travelers may still roam the road. Whether one believes in spirits and the supernatural, or views these stories as folklore, born of history and imagination, the Coronado Trail remains a place charged with mystery. It reminds us that beneath the surface of every landscape lies a deeper story, shaped by those who came before and the energies they left behind. Travelers who drive the Coronado Trail at night often do so with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. They listen closely for the beating drums, watch for ghostly riders, and search the darkened hillsides for flickering lights. The road becomes a journey, not only through space, but through time and laguna, passage where history and the supernatural entwine. The Coronado Trail's haunting tales speak to the power of memory and the persistence of spirit. It stands as a testament to the land's rich cultural tapestry and the mysteries that still dwell within it. For those who heed the whispers of the night and respect the sacredness of the trail, the road offers a glimpse into a world where the veil between the living and the dead is thin and where the past continues to speak in drums, shadows, and flames. In the end, the Coronado Trail is far more than just a road in Arizona. It is a living story, a path where history and legend merge, and where the spirits of explorers and native peoples alike may still roam, reminding us that some journeys never truly end. As we leave these haunted roads behind, remember that every mile carries stories, echoes of lives once lived, moments frozen in time, and spirits that linger still. The highways of America are not just paths connecting places, but portals to the past, reminding us that sometimes the road less traveled leads straight into the unknown. If you found yourself looking over your shoulder or gripping your steering wheel a little tighter tonight, you're not alone. These roads hold their secrets close, whispering in the dark, inviting only the bravest to listen. Thank you for traveling with me through America's most haunted roads. If you dare, hit that like button, subscribe for more spine-chilling tales, and share your own ghostly encounters in the comments below. Keep your lights bright and your senses sharp, because you never know what might be waiting just beyond the next bend.